Welcome back to another episode of Koinyo Sessions with Jolo Bakli. This is a podcast where we talk about a random word and turn them into deeper and sensible meaning. So why don't you just sit back and join me on this another session to find out the random word for today. Alright guys, how are you? Actually, today marks the 20th episode of our Koinyo Session. Yay, congratulations to us. And since this will be the 20th, this is the 20th episode of our podcast, I would like to dedicate this to my parents as well for being supportive and for being there and for believing in me that I can do such thing. All right. So since I mentioned to you that I want to dedicate this podcast to them, so the word of the day that we will be talking about is no other than this. So I would like to introduce to you the word of the day. The word of the day is parents. Ayan. So the word of the day that we will be talking about is parents or parent. Ayan. So if we will coin the word, so we can divide it into two different words. So from the word parent, there is pair, which means pares, or this is like a set of two. But there's a pair of scissors, pair of gloves, like that. And then the other word from the word parent is rent. Rent. In Tagalog, I think this is what they call that, bayad, like that, or rent. When we say rent, this is something that we pay for the use of like the condo, right? So this is something that we pay when we use something, like in the CR, or when we are renting like toga or mga suit or gown, like that. So these are the things that we rent. Like I remember there was a time na CD. Ayan, nag-rent pa tayo ng CD. Alright, so baka medyo lumabas yung edad ko doon. Pero yeah, so those are the two words that I would like to share with you when we will talk about parents. Alright, so there's the pair and there's the rent. And I just want to share with you how crucial it is, the parents, or how crucial our parents are in our lives. Diba? Like, unlike the things that we rent, like the CD, the condominium, or whatever things that we rent, diba? We know that there is a deadline. Diba? Like every 15th we have to pay the rent, or every 25th we have to give it back, 'di ba? Or even sa mga library, 'di ba, when we borrow the books, 'di ba, there's a deadline on when will we return the books to the library, right? But the thing is, when we will talk about the parents, or when it's about our parents, honestly we don't know. 'Di ba? We don't know when they will be needed back, where they came from. Well, they came from, of course, God who created our parents. But we don't know that. We don't know that. Or we do not know when we will return them to God. Diba? And I think that's a reality that's hard to think about right now, especially with the pandemic, with everything that's happening right now, with the news. I also learned some of my colleagues or some of my barkadas parents died recently. So it's very hard, 'di ba? But I just want to share this podcast as well to everyone, and I just want to let it out as well on how important or how valuable our parents are in our lives. Because someday, sooner or later, you're gonna be a parent someday, right? And especially with the pandemic right now, ang dami ko nakikita on my timeline na, ay, nabuntis si ganyan. Ay, pregnant pala si ganyan. Uy, kasal na si ganyan. And yeah, so being a parent is another step, 'di ba? And it's gonna be hard. So right now, I just want us to appreciate and learn the value of our parents, or at least remind you of the value of our parents. Because as I mentioned, they're only rent, or like pinahiram lang sila ni God sa atin, 'di ba? Those pair of persons or pair of individuals are actually God's pahiram sa atin in this world, like that. Because as we know, everything is just temporary, right? Nothing is permanent, only change. Charot. Yeah, but we have to make it count. And I just want to say that we have to love our parents. And no matter what happens, they're going to be our parents. Or they're going to be your parents. I remember earlier today, my siblings and I are actually watching a Netflix movie, and it's a movie from around 2004, I think. And I was really young at the time, but we tried to rewatch it again, and the title of the movie is Facing the Giants. It's a very very good movie, and I recommend it to everyone who's listening. And there's just a scene that strike me so hard, and grabe tagos na, although I don't really relate on that scene, but I felt the the striking words na sinabi, and I just want to share it with you. And on that scene kasi, Facing the Giants is about parang football siya, and then merong coach na yung team niya sobrang loser, ganyan ganyan. But on the certain scene na nakita ko, the coach approached, yes, rhyming naman tayo. So the coach approached his athlete or his player sa isang huddle, or uwian na ata at that time. So nakita niya yung player niya nandun lang sa bench, naghihintay. So nilapitan niya, and then like parang sinabi niya na, parang may sinabi siya na, don't disrespect your father. Parang, what are you doing? Mga ganun. So parang sinabi dun sa yung line mismo na sabi ng coach, the scripture says to honor your parents. All you have to do is complain. Tapos the player responded, sabi niya, all he does is boss me around. He doesn't even try to understand me. Yan. So I'm sure some of you are already relating to this moment. And then the coach replied, you can't judge your father by his actions, and then judge yourself for your intentions. It doesn't work that way. You're responsible for you. You honor God by honoring your authority. Ayan. So, sobrang ano nito nung scene na to, and eventually alam mo nagkaayos yung mag-ama. Diba? Kasi nga the coach trying to help also the father, or ma-establish yung relationship nilang dalawa. So yun nga, sinabi dito na you honor God by honoring your authority. So our parents, our authority, or God placed them over us para i-guide tayo and to support us and to help us to become better individuals, right? And I know that we also have, or I personally have my own arguments or misunderstandings with my father, mother, with my parents. That's normal. That's normal. And actually, there was a time that sumama talaga yung loob ko with because sometimes we there are possibilities that we don't like what they're saying to us, or we don't like what they're trying to do, ganyan. So may konting misunderstanding along the line. So I'm just I felt bad, and then I just cried out to God, and alam niyo yun, I tried to read the Bible, and then out of the blue. Meron ako nabasa sa scripture, sa Bible. I just read Sirach 2 verse 12 to 13. Yan. Ang sabi doon kasi, this verse made me cry. Sabi, my son, take care of your father when he is old. Grieve him not as long as he lives. Even if it is mind fail, or even if his mind fail, be considerate with him. And grabe gustong part na to sa akin na, yeah, possible na you and your parents are not close, or you can be close, yeah, better, that's good. And there are possibilities na sobrang layo ng age gap nyo, hindi kayo nagkakaintindihan, and that's normal. But this verse actually reminded me na sabi, even if his mind failed, be considerate with him. Kasi parang, when we were younger, as in, batang-bata pa, like around 4, 5 years old or 6 years old, sobrang kulit natin. And they're the ones who took care of us. 'Di ba? Sila yung nag-aalaga sa atin, and lahat ng yun. And it's about our time to return it to them. 'Di ba? Parang payback time. 'Di ba? Graduate nga tayo, ginawa natin lahat ng gusto nila, and probably now you are working, but doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Kasi, of course, they still need us. Kung inalagaan nila tayo from the time na dinadala tayo ng parents, ay ng mother natin, up to kailan tayo graduate, or kung kailan man tayo nag-work, nag-establish ng sarili natin, hindi enough yung time span na yun para bayaran eh. Right? So, as you can see, sobrang laki ng value, or yung importance ng parents natin in our lives, and we will never know when will be the time na we have to give back our rent to God, 'di ba? So I know it's it might be sad or something, but I just want to share with you a couple of pointers, 'di ba? So bago ko i-share tong pointers na to, konting ano naman tayo dyan. Since we're talking about parents, appear naman tayo dyan. Appear. Appear. Wala lang, appear. Okay, so tama na. So here are the few points that I want to share with you guys. And initially, you just have to show your care and your love to them. But I was able to come up with an acronym. So since we're talking about pair and rent, so ginamit ko yung rent. So there are 4 points, R, E, N, T. So number 1 would be R. So you have to remember they are your parents. Ayan. So this is number 1. And we have to remember na no matter what, they are still your parents. If you're still living with them or you have your own family right now, just remember they are your parents. And they took care of you when you were young. They were there when you needed something, at least. Or, these parents they may not actually be your legit parents if you don't have them right now. They can be also your tita, your tito, your lolo, your lola. They can also be a parent. Diba? Definitely, they've been a parent. So, you have to remember that they are your parents, or they're the ones who na-assigned sa'yo to protect you, to guide you, to support you, like that. So, remember that. So, that's letter R. And letter E would be express your feelings. Ayan. So, this is important, especially when our parents are getting old. I think it's important that we have to express our love to them the more. Kasi syempre, they're getting old, and sometimes wala na silang energy to reach out to us. Diba? So, tayo naman, being energetic, lively, and bata-bata pa, we have to reach out to them and express our feelings. And it might be some sharing about your day, sharing how you're feeling right now. Are you feeling bad? Stress ka ba sa work? May dinadala ka bang problema sa school mo? Or whatever it is that you are feeling right now. I think and I believe that your parents are the first one that you should share your feelings with. And guilty ako dito because when I was younger, around mga 12 years, and di naman, mga 40, mas sa mga teenage life, mga ganyan, mga teenage crisis na yan, about love life and everything. Ito yung pagkukulang ko sa parents ko. I wasn't able to tell them my true feelings when I'm, what do you call this? Attracted to the opposite sex. And ayun na, hindi ako natutong mag-share sa kanila ng ganito. And if I have known talaga, sana naging honest na lang ako sa feelings nila. Kasi, you know what, after that, isa pang fault if you don't express your feelings to them, or if hindi ka honest with them, possibility yung trust maapektuhan. Ayan, so just the pointer that I need you to take note of is you have to express your feelings to them no matter what is it. Kahit anumang idea yon, parents mo sila eh. Diba? So, and of course, they have to let them, or you have to let them understand you. Okay? Ayan. Ayan. So that's E. The first one would be remember they're your parents. Letter E is express your feelings. Letter N is now or never. Ayan. Ayaw naman natin na bigla-bigla na lang mawala or ma-take for granted natin yung opportunity. And as I mentioned nga, ng paulit-ulit, we will never know, especially with this pandemic that's happening right now, and we don't wanna risk it. Diba? So it's now or never. You have to express your love to your parents. You have to let them know that you love them, that you care for them, that you're thinking about them. Diba? And that you're showing, alam niyo yun, yung pagkukusa nyo na pakita sa kanila na nagpalaki sila ng anak na maayos. 'Di ba? Ang sarap nun sa pakiramdam. Kala mo may anak na eh. Hindi, pero yeah, it's now or never. Like, you have to do it now. Kasi if not, wag na nating isipin. Wag na nating ipagsabukas yung mga kaya naman natin iparamdam sa kanila. I know you get my point. Yeah? Alright. So, and lastly, number tuloy. Letter T is thank them. Ayan, of course, hindi naman mahirap magpasalamat sa kanila. Like, I remember nga, when we were in high school yata, there's this, di ba pag may retreat, may mga parang, pang, what do you call this, nag-reflect kayo, ganyan, and then yung facilitators, is just talking about your parents, ganyan-ganyan. And nag-trigger talaga sa akin na you have to be thankful for them, even the smallest things. Parang kasing tinanong niya kami, kayo ba, nagpapasalamat kayo sa magulang nyo? Yung mga simpleng bagay lang, yung mga tipong pagluluto, yung uniforme nyo, yung mga ganyan. Alam mo yun, parang, yun eh, and nag-strike yun sa akin ever since. Kaya every time na magluluto sila, or may gagawin sila, like, yun nga, magka-plan siya ng damit, or like, may bibilin for you, or may favor ka, I never forget to thank them. Like, kahit na minsan, nakakahiya. Ano eh, kasi, may, it's normal na mafe-feel mo na tumatanda ka na ganyan. Pero, alam niyo yun, we have to be thankful, and they need to know that we appreciate their efforts. And kailangan nilang marinig yun. Especially with their generation. Kailangan nilang marinig yun. Kailangan nilang makita yun. Kailangan nilang malaman yun. That we are very grateful for the things that they did. Even the smallest one. Alright? And kahit na hindi man sila maging grateful sa kung anumang goodness na ibigay natin sa kanila, you have to be grateful. Kunwari, nagdala ka ng pasalubong, tapos sabihin lang, ay, ganyan lang. Parang gano'n, di ba? Parang wala. Or hindi pinansin yung dala-dala mo. Or wala kang, may accomplishment ka. Tapos parang, gano'n. Okay, nice one yan. Ganyan. Pero, let's be grateful for them because they're still there. Di ba? Ang dami-daming tao na nawalan ng magulang, nawalan ng tatay, ng nanay, or whoever na malapit sa kanilang buhay. And we just have to be thankful na they're still breathing and they're still with us right now. Diba? So be thankful, and I hope na we start now, diba? Ayan, so before I get get so emotional, I think those are the 4 points that I want to share with you guys. You just have to remember they are your parents. You have to express your feelings to them no matter what. It's gonna be now or never, and you have to be thankful, or you have to thank them for being them and for being just there. You have to thank God that they're still here with us. Ayan. So I don't want to get emotional, and I don't want to be triggered because alam mo yun, I have this as a very intimate relationship with my parents, and I really really love them, and I'm just very thankful for them for all the things that they've done for me and for my siblings. Ayan. So I think that's gonna be it. I hope you guys learned something from our session, for our cornea session for today. And I just pray that whatever you're having having right now, if you're having broken relationship, or if whatever you're feeling towards your parents, I just pray that God will continue to do great things to you and to your family. All right. So I think that's gonna be it. This has been Jolo for another Konya session, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out, bro.